few people have been asking me how much I've made on YouTube. It's been not quite a month since I've started monetizing my channel, so I'm going to share with you in this video what the top earning videos were on my channel, even though I've got a very small YouTube channel. And we're going to dive into the YouTube analytics so that I can show you what it is that I'm working on to grow my channel and to grow my revenue. Hi there, my name's Anthony English, and on this channel I share how you can be good on Zoom. Now, how I'm growing my YouTube channel and monetizing that is kind of a side theme for my channel, but I'm sharing it with you anyway because enough people have asked me about it. So if you haven't subscribed, that's part of the problem with monetizing my channel. So let me share that with you now, because I think you're going to be quite surprised at some of the analytics and where the money is coming from. So let me begin by going to YouTube Studio. So that's studio.youtube.com, and I'll go into the analytics here. I'll get myself out of the way here. And as you can see, I've got currently 1,339 subscribers. Now, as I'm recording this, it is the 9th of October, 2020. And I got to 1,000 subscribers on the 31st of August, so August 31. So that's been 1 month plus 9 days. I've got another, I've grown by, 339 subscribers, or 33% in about 6 weeks, which is pretty nice. So I got to 1,000 subscribers on August 31, but I didn't get the approval for monetization through AdSense until September 17. So let's have a look at the numbers there. So at the moment, so these numbers only take me to October the 7th. So that's September 17. So for the very first day, I earned $21. So that's $21 US. And that's money that comes to me. Of course, I've got to take tax out of that. The second day, 17, you can see Saturdays are always lower, $10.88. 13. So you get to see from this flow that it's sitting around, just around the $20 mark, just shy of $20. So what are the top earning videos? So that's been a real surprise to me, actually. So here I get to see in the YouTube analytics, I get to see what videos make me the most money. And this has been a big surprise. So first of all, this old video, how to change your Zoom profile picture. Now, this video was made back in April this year, and it's still getting a lot of views. Let's have a quick look at the views here. Now, this isn't to encourage you, right? In the very first week that video went up, I had the first 8 days, all right, the first 6 days I had 100 views, so only 20 views a day. Now, you might think, well, that's pretty good, but it's actually not that good, considering now I'm getting up many, many more. You can see in the last 48 hours, this video has had 1,700 views. So 20 views a day. So this is to tell you that it's important to realize that you're planting a seed. Don't expect to be bearing fruit for quite a long time, but that's okay. And then it started growing around March, started growing, and then it kept going. Now, here's another thing that's very interesting, is that most people don't stay right to the end. In fact, only 6%, 6 out of 100 people stay right to the end of the video. And the video itself goes for 4 minutes on average, counting all of the people. Some people drop off straight away the first few seconds, right? First 5 seconds. But you can see that the people only stay for a quarter of the video, and they get what they need. Another thing that's very important to note is that most of my traffic now is coming either from YouTube search, which is great. So the people are searching for a particular thing, particular message, or else from external, which is basically from Google. Okay, Google search. So that one single video got me 2,700 hours of my watch time. Well, but up until 31st of August, which is when I needed to get my 1,000 subscribers, it was 1,700 hours. Okay, so one video can do the trick. that video surprised me because it's got a lot of problems with the video. It's not very engaging in some ways. So what I did was I recorded that video again, but I didn't delete the old one. So these two are kind of competing with each other, this one and this one here. And you can see that this video, which is only a month old, remember the other one was 1,700 views in the last 48 hours? This one has had 3,000 views nearly in the last 48 hours. So two videos, pretty much the same topic, 1,700 or 3,000 views. Okay? So what's happening is that the other video is actually dropping off on its views, and all of this is YouTube search traffic. You can see this. This is really, really good. I love YouTube search traffic. What you also get to see is that people are much more consistent. Even though it's a slightly shorter video, people are still only staying for the 1 minute because they just want to learn how to change their profile photo. But you can see that they're rewinding maybe, unless it's a sound quality problem or something, but they're stopping the video and starting it again. That's what all of these spikes usually or often indicate. So that means there's much higher retention in the first minute of the video, which is really, really good. And this video, I also asked people to subscribe, which I didn't do in the earlier video. So you can see that this video, which is only it's only a month old, has had 16,000 views already. You can also see this color here. This indicates which of these videos is generating the most revenue. So each of these are the highest earning videos. What's this green one? So this light green one is a really interesting one. It's how to set up recurring meetings. How to set up a recurring meeting in Zoom. So if I click on that, I get to see the analytics. And what I see, once again, this video performed very, very poorly. So in the first month, it was only watched 200 times. 260 times in the first month, right? But now, it's getting that many per day, that many views, or per every 2 days anyway. So this is generating a lot more interest. Now, what's very interesting here is that once again, we get the early drop off on the video. People drop off after the first few seconds. They're not interested, clicked it by mistake, but then it's fairly consistent, and then it starts to drop off down here. Okay, so we get to see the view time here. What we're also interested in here is the revenue. Most of the revenue here is coming from skippable ads. You know, those ads that you can click on skip ad. Now, I'm going to show you one other thing. Notice this playback CPM. I'll explain what that is. Let me go over to here and to the revenue for the whole channel. Okay, so for the last 28 days. And when people advertise on your channel, they have to pay so much for every 1,000 views that they get. Okay, playback based CPM, cost per mille. Mille is the Latin for 1,000, and tells you how much advertisers paid per 1,000 monetized playbacks. Now what that means is that every time somebody actually watches, and it's actually a like basically an ad watch, like they haven't just skipped the ad straight away, or many of the ads are not skippable anyway. If people have actually watched the ad or clicked or something like that, then this is how much advertisers pay in total, pay to YouTube, not to me, but pay to YouTube. And you can see that has varied, that CPM has varied, sometimes right up to $14. But you can see that it's fairly consistently up at about $10 or $11, which is about what I would have expected. So, on each video, that cost per mil can vary dramatically. Let me show you here. If I go into here, what I get to see is that some videos themselves are much bigger money spinners. They get a much higher playback-based CPM. So this one here, the recurring meeting one, gets $34. So that means that if I got 1,000 views on that, that would be $34 for YouTube, or $34 paid by advertisers to YouTube, and then my cut, which is $12. So if I got 1,000 views on this one, that's going to be $12, whereas 1,000 views on this one is only going to be $2. So why is that? Well, it's hard to know. There's a lot of things that go to make up for it, but it's really worthwhile for me to go and tweak the keywords, the tags, the description, and the thumbnail on this video, because even though this video doesn't have as many views, even though it doesn't have much watch time compared to some of the other videos, look how many views it's got, only 4,000. If I could get that up by another 1,000, then that's worth a lot more to me. If I got it up by 10,000, that's $121. Whereas if I get this one up by 10,000, that's only $26. You see? So it really makes sense to go back on old videos, go back to old videos and see which ones need to have improved tags, improved thumbnail, and improved description and titles. Okay. So overall, let's have a quick look at the total revenue for the month. And you can see that September, I got $276.44. So that's from September the 17th was my first day. And that was a slightly short day because I didn't start, it wasn't a full 24 hours by the time I turned on ads. And October is 105. So that's a total of my estimated revenue of $382.35 so far. Now this line here means that they're still doing the calculation for the last day. As I'm recording this here in Sydney, it's Friday, October the 9th. In YouTube land, so YouTube uses Pacific Standard Time, it is still October the 8th, Thursday, October the 8th, and they're still calculating the money that I earned for October the 7th for Wednesday, October the 7th. So that's going to come through in the next hour or two. But I'm expecting that to be around the $20 mark. Now, one other thing I want to show you is that my videos are primarily about Zoom. And so if I go into the analytics here and I look at the total views, and we'll do that over 90 days here. Let's have a look at 90 days. Okay, so for the last 3 months, my videos are about getting confident on Zoom, how to change your picture, how to change your Zoom profile photo, how to turn off your video, how do you sound, how do you mute yourself, all of these things. You can see what my popular topics are. Okay, the Zoom profile picture, how to mute yourself, around how you list, how you sound, and how you look on Zoom. Okay, those are really the top performing videos and the top views. And so that makes sense why we have these valleys here every weekend. Okay, because Saturday is the lowest time. Well, who cares about Zoom on a Saturday? All right, not so many people. 1,700 people are finding their way to Zoom on a Saturday, whereas on a Thursday or a Tuesday, it's much, much higher. And so I know that that my videos around the Zoom theme are going to do a lot better during the week compared to on the weekend. And now, the last thing I want to show you here is around the engagement. The last thing I want to show you here is around the audience. And what I'm seeing here is that most of my audience, by far, the biggest number of views come from people who don't come back, who are not subscribers, rather. And so they come back, they just watch a video, on average 1.3 videos. Most people don't watch many of my videos. They just watch one and then they disappear. Remember, I've got 1,300 subscribers, but here I've got 233,000 viewers. Okay? So a lot of people, so only 1 in 100 people, not even less, 1 in 200 people pretty much, subscribe to my channel. So that means that it makes sense for me to make videos that are not for subscribers, and that are really just going to at least get the views. Hopefully, I'll be able to translate them to subscribers, and if you haven't subscribed yet, then please consider subscribing to my channel. The proportion of females is pretty high for a YouTube channel and for a technical channel, 46%. And the age group is very interesting too. My demographic is way down here, 55 down there. But you can see that 50% of my traffic is between 18 and 34. Add another 20% here. So 70%, 80% of my traffic, if you count these, 80% of my traffic is under 44 years old. But I was a bit surprised. I was expecting it to be a lot more people in this age group here, but no. Well, the top countries for the views are the United States. No surprises there. That's exactly what I would have expected and hoped. And then we've got India as well. We see the ad types. The skippable ads are responsible for 4 out of 5 clicks. 4 out of 5 of the revenue come from the skippable ads. And I see that the October numbers have just come in. So the October, while I've been doing this video, so Wednesday, October the 7th came in at $23.21. So that's really nice. So I get to see that my revenue now is $405 from September the 17th, not even a month yet, and that's $400 in my first month. So I'm pretty happy with that. So total 129 from October, 276 from September.